So how did America even know the Soviets were putting nukes in Cuba? Enter the U-2 spy plane. It flew super high, too high to be shot down, they thought. In October 1962, one of these planes snapped clear photos of missile launch sites in Cuba. Boom. Proof. President John F. Kennedy saw the pics and freaked out. Nukes in Cuba meant nukes just minutes away from U.S. cities. The world was now sitting on a nuclear time bomb. Interactive question. What would you do if you were the president and saw those photos? Bomb Cuba? Stay quiet? Negotiate? President Kennedy was stuck. If he attacked Cuba, the Soviets might strike back. Boom, World War III. If he did nothing, nukes would stay in Cuba, ready to launch. So what did he do? He pulled a power move. Blockade. He ordered the U.S. Navy to surround Cuba and stop every Soviet ship carrying missiles. He called it a quarantine, but let's be real, it was a chess move with nukes. The Soviets were like, that's illegal. The world holding its breath. Every hour we were one wrong move from mushroom clouds. Question. Do you think Kennedy made the right move? Or should he have gone full force? October 24th, 1962. Soviet ships are heading toward the blockade. American warships are waiting. One wrong radio signal and it's missile mayhem. TV anchors were literally like, we might not be here tomorrow. Bunkers stalked. Civilians panicking. Even schools were running duck and cover drills, as if a desk could stop a nuclear bomb. True story. One U.S. general wanted to just bomb Cuba immediately. Kennedy was like, let's not end the world today, thanks. Meanwhile, Khrushchev, the Soviet leader, was writing angry letters, and missiles were locked. Viewer challenge. What 3 things would you grab if the nukes were coming right now? Here's the craziest part. World War III almost started because of a submarine. A Soviet sub near Cuba got surrounded by U.S. ships. The Americans dropped warning depth charges. But the sub crew thought, we're under attack. The captain wanted to launch a nuclear torpedo. Yes, a nuke. But guess what? One officer, Vasily Arkhipov, refused. He literally said, no, we're not doing this. And that one no might have saved the entire planet. Legend. Viewer question. Should Vasily Arkhipov be more famous than any superhero? While the world panicked, Kennedy and Khrushchev started writing letters. Yup, actual letters. The first one from Khrushchev was kinda chill, like let's both calm down. But the second one, super aggressive. Kennedy ignored the angry one and responded to the first peaceful letter. Smart move. They agreed. The Soviets would remove nukes from Cuba. If the US promised not to invade Cuba, and secretly, America agreed to remove its own missiles from Turkey. But shh. That part stayed top secret for years. Question. Do you think countries should always be honest with their people, even during crisis? On October 28th, 1962, the Soviets agreed to pull out their nukes. The crisis was over. The world, relieved. People literally cried, danced, and hugged strangers in the street. But make no mistake, it was the closest we've ever come to nuclear war. One wrong step, and boom. Cuban Missile Crisis became the ultimate lesson in communication, power, and ego, and it changed how world leaders talked. Hotlines were created between DC and Moscow just in case. Interactive moment. If you could call any world leader and give advice, who would it be, and what would you say? Subitsokanen. What did the world actually learn from the Cuban Missile Crisis? Lesson 1. Talk before you launch. Leaders realized that silence is dangerous, so they built a red phone between Washington and Moscow. It wasn't actually red, but it meant instant connection in case of emergency. Lesson 2. Nukes aren't toys. One mistake, one angry general, and we'd be radioactive toast. Lesson 3. Diplomacy works. Letters, deals, and calm voices actually prevented war. That's wild, right? Interactive question. If you were president, would you lead with peace or power? Even though the missiles were removed, the damage was done. Cuba was isolated for decades. The US and Soviet Union kept stockpiling more nukes. And fear, it stayed. Schools kept doing duck and cover drills. Kids grew up thinking the world could end any minute. Also, trust between countries was broken. Even allies started looking over their shoulders. It's like the Cold War hit pause, but never really stopped. And nuclear weapons? Still around. Thousands of them. Right now. Viewer challenge. Do you think the world is safer today than in 1962? Fast forward to now. Russia, the US, China, North Korea. The nukes are still here. Some are even stronger than in the 60s. So are we back in another Cold War? Some say yes. Cyber wars, proxy wars, political chess. Same game, new board. But here's the twist. You are the next generation. You decide if the future is war or peace. You choose if history repeats or transforms. The missile crisis showed how close we came. Now, it's up to us to stay smart, stay calm, and stay connected. Question for you. What would you do differently if you were in charge of world peace? Let's recap this insane roller coaster. Missiles in Cuba. America panics. Kennedy plays chess with nukes. A submarine almost ends the world. And a single letter changes everything. But here's the craziest part. Most people today don't even know how close we were to World War III. That's why you watching this matters. The more we understand the past, the less we repeat its mistakes. So don't just scroll away, think about it. History isn't boring. It's life or death in HD. And the last question. Would you survive if the Cuban Missile Crisis happened today? If this blew your mind even a little, you know what to do. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's the wildest part of this story to you? Would you choose war or peace? And hey, if you want more insane history told like this, you know where to find it? Signing off before the next missile flies.